In a historic political shift, Democrats have won Georgia's Public Service Commission elections, marking a significant change in the state's political landscape. This victory breaks a nearly two-decade Republican hold on statewide offices, a stronghold that many thought was unbreakable. On November 4, 2025, challengers Peter Hubbard and Alicia Johnson unseated their Republican opponents decisively, a result that has sent shockwaves through the political community. This victory signals a potential realignment in Georgia, a key political battleground, with far-reaching implications for energy policy and the 2026 midterms. The state's political dynamics are clearly shifting. Alicia Johnson secured 60.5% of the vote against incumbent Fitz Johnson, a margin that underscores the electorate's desire for change. Meanwhile, Peter Hubbard captured 60.7% against Tim Echols, further solidifying the Democratic sweep in this crucial election. The election saw higher-than-expected turnout, particularly in Democratic areas, propelling Hubbard and Johnson to victory. This surge in voter participation was a key factor in their success. This was the first general PSC election since 2020, following a lawsuit challenging the Commission's voting system. The legal battle brought significant attention to the election process. Incumbents faced voter frustration over rising utility costs, which Democrats capitalized on with a focused campaign. Their message of accountability and change resonated with many voters. This PSC victory provides Democrats with momentum, showing their message resonates beyond federal elections. It demonstrates their ability to connect with voters on local issues. As the dust settles, analysts are dissecting the implications for Georgia politics and energy policy. The results are being scrutinized for what they mean for future elections. The win demonstrates Democrats' ability to penetrate state governance, offering a tangible success story that could inspire similar efforts in other states. This election marks a significant breach in the Republican stronghold, signaling a shift in Georgia's political landscape. The future of Georgia politics looks more competitive than ever. Rising electricity costs quickly became the defining issue in this election, cutting across party lines and overshadowing traditional political ideologies. For many families, the shock of opening monthly bills was a constant reminder of the stakes at hand, making the cost of living a deeply personal concern that resonated in households across Georgia. The Republican-led Public Service Commission, or PSC, approved a total of 6 rate hikes for Georgia Power over just a few years. These decisions resulted in the average household paying an extra $500 annually, an amount that many families simply couldn't absorb without making sacrifices elsewhere. Democrats seized on this frustration, framing the election as a clear choice between corporate-aligned incumbents who sided with utility interests and challengers who promised to put consumers first. Their message was simple: the PSC should protect people, not profits. Polls revealed that 3 out of 4 Americans were worried about rising utility bills, and in Georgia, this anxiety translated into a powerful motivation for change. The issue united voters from different backgrounds, making it a rare point of consensus. Incumbents argued that the rate hikes were necessary to modernize the power grid and fund the costly expansion of Plant Vogtle, a massive nuclear project. But for many voters, these justifications rang hollow, especially as bills kept climbing and promises of future benefits felt distant. The PSC's decisions, once seen as technical or remote, suddenly felt very real when they hit voters' wallets. This created a powerful narrative of a regulatory body that seemed out of touch with the everyday struggles of ordinary Georgians. The election ultimately demonstrated how issues that affect people at the kitchen table, like utility bills, can transcend partisan divides when communicated effectively, bringing together voters who might otherwise disagree on everything else. The Democrats' victory was more than just a political win. It was a testament to their ability to tap into widespread grievances and offer a compelling, practical alternative that resonated with voters across the spectrum. Alicia Johnson's victory speech was more than just a celebration. It was a declaration of hope and determination for all Georgians. As she stood before a cheering crowd, Johnson emphasized that her win was not just personal, but a collective triumph for everyday people over the powerful grip of special interests that have long shaped state policy. She dedicated her victory to the countless families across Georgia who have struggled month after month with soaring electricity bills, often forced to make difficult choices between keeping the lights on and other basic needs. Johnson promised that, under her leadership, the Public Service Commission would finally put the needs of the public first, not the profits of utility companies. Johnson pledged a new era of transparency and accountability, vowing to open up the decision-making process and ensure that every voice is heard. Her focus would be on making energy more affordable and fair, so that no Georgian is left behind. Peter Hubbard, her running mate, echoed these sentiments, highlighting that their election was a clear mandate from voters demanding real change in Georgia's energy policy and a break from business as usual. Hubbard laid out his commitment to lowering utility bills for working families and accelerating the transition to clean, renewable energy sources, making it clear that the old ways of doing things would no longer be tolerated. He directly challenged the entrenched interests that have favored fossil fuels for decades, promising to fight for policies that protect both consumers and the environment. Together, Johnson and Hubbard pledged to rigorously scrutinize every utility proposal, ensuring that ratepayers are protected and that investments in renewable energy and efficiency programs are prioritized. Their election marks a significant shift towards a public service commission that is truly consumer-focused, responsive, and forward-thinking. With their victory, Georgia takes a bold step toward a sustainable energy future, where clean power and affordable rates are within reach for every community. Johnson made it clear she would end the practice of rubber-stamping rate hikes, without fully considering the real human costs and the impact on working families. Hubbard's extensive background in renewable energy gives him the expertise and credibility to drive meaningful change, ensuring that Georgia becomes a leader in the clean energy transition. Together, they aim to modernize Georgia's energy grid, making it smarter, more resilient, and accessible to all communities, urban and rural alike. Their election signals the beginning of a new era for the Public Service Commission, one defined by open debate, rigorous scrutiny, and a commitment to serving the public interest above all else. For Georgia, this victory is more than just a political win. It's a mandate for a cleaner, more affordable, and more just energy future for everyone. Republican incumbents conceded, with Tim Echols graciously acknowledging defeat. Echols reflected on his service and the complexities of utility regulation. Johnson, facing voters for the first time, announced plans to run again in 2026. Johnson defended his record, arguing rate increases were necessary for grid reliability. The GOP faces a significant loss, exposing vulnerability on economic issues. Governor Brian Kemp had concerns about the special election's timing, recognizing potential high Democratic turnout. The defeat serves as a warning that no office is immune to public backlash over pocketbook issues. The party must recalibrate its message on economic matters to counter Democrats' focus on cost of living. The Democratic victory was a result of a coordinated, well-funded effort showcasing organizational strength. The DNC capitalized on voter anger over utility costs, translating it into a statewide win. DNC Chair Ken Martin celebrated the results as a rejection of the Republican cost-raising agenda. The campaign's focus on affordability unlocked support from a broad coalition, including independents and disaffected Republicans. The state party mobilized voters through extensive get-out-the-vote efforts, leveraging local municipal contests. The unified message framed the election as a referendum on incumbents' record of raising rates. The victory is a model for winning on economic issues, providing a morale boost for future campaigns. The Democratic sweep of the PSC signals a seismic shift in Georgia's political landscape. For the first time in nearly 20 years, Democrats hold statewide office, altering power dynamics in Atlanta. With 2 PSC seats, Democrats introduce new perspectives and scrutiny into commission proceedings. The victory symbolizes changing demographics and political attitudes in Georgia. The success of a consumer protection and clean energy campaign suggests broad appeal across the electorate. The GOP faces a wake-up call, exposing vulnerability on economic issues. The PSC election reshapes political strategies, influencing future battles in Georgia. Environmental and consumer advocacy groups played a crucial role in the Democratic victory. Georgia conservation voters spent millions, effectively blaming incumbents for rate hikes. Their strategy combined digital advertising with grassroots organizing and voter education. Environmental groups framed the election as pivotal for climate action and economic justice. Their message resonated with voters concerned about climate change and cost of living. Outside spending provided Democrats with resources and a narrative framework to defeat incumbents. This election serves as a model for advocacy groups shaping electoral outcomes. The PSC victory is seen as a bellwether for the 2026 midterms in Georgia. Democrats gain momentum and a validated campaign strategy for upcoming high-stakes races. The win suggests voters respond to a populist economic message, central to future elections. Democrats aim to tie Republicans to unpopular corporate interests and cost-raising policies. The GOP must counter this narrative, developing a response to accusations of favoring corporations. The PSC election reshapes the political landscape, energizing the Democratic base. Utility costs, corporate accountability, and clean energy remain key political issues. The outcome sets the stage for another intense political battle in Georgia. Johnson and Hubbard's election heralds a new energy landscape in Georgia. Their presence on the PSC introduces debate, compromise, and scrutiny. Georgia Power faces tougher questions on rate increases and capital projects. Johnson and Hubbard champion policies for renewable energy and efficiency programs. The future of plant bottles cost overruns will be scrutinized, protecting consumers. Their election marks a shift in energy policy debate and decision-making. Affordability, transparency, and sustainability are now central to public expectations. Johnson and Hubbard carry a mandate for a cleaner, equitable energy future in Georgia.